He built the business for 22 years. He sold it for $600,000, $3.5 million a year in revenue, 14 trucks, a building he bought outright, and he sold it for $600,000. And here's the part that should scare you. He did not get cheated. Nobody took advantage of him. And that was a fair price. That is what it was worth. If you own a trade business and you have a number in your head right now, this video is probably going to take that number away from you. Watch it anyway because you would rather find out today than at a kitchen table when you are 61 years old and your back is done. So let me take you into the room. This story is made from several deals, so no single client can be identified. Still, I have lived through this kind of meetings many times. Kitchen table, books open, the buyer gets to a line. $48,000 a year salary. That's the owner's wife. And the owner says what every owner says. That is not a real expense. That is just how we take money out. Add it back. That one is mine. And the buyer says, sure. What does she do? And the owner opens his mouth to say nothing. And then he stops because he's actually thinking about it now. And what she does is she sends every invoice. She chases every customer who does not pay. She answers the phone at 7 at night, and she has known the top 20 accounts for 2 decades. And the buyer says, right, so I have to hire someone else to do all that work. That is not money, that is a job. That went on for 2 hours. The truck he called personal that the company cannot run without. The trips he called vacations that were actually how he kept his biggest customer. The lawsuit he called a one-time lawsuit. That was the 3rd one in 4 years. Same question every time. Does this business still need it after you leave? And every time the answer was yes. And the buyer asked the one that actually cost him the money. Who sells a job? I do. Who writes the big estimates? I do. Who do your best customers call when something goes wrong? They call me. So the buyer has to hire that person too. And that person is expensive because that person is the owner. When the afternoon was over, $3.5 million a year in revenue had turned into just under $200,000 of actual earnings. Not what the company built, what the company makes for somebody who is not him. And a company that only works because the one guy is standing in the middle of it does not sell for 5 times earnings. It sells for 3. 3 times just under $200,000 means $600,000. 22 years. Now let me tell you about the other guy, and this is the part I actually want you to remember. Same trade, same city, same year, half the revenue. He had a service manager who ran the jobs. He had a salesperson who was not him. And he had a book of maintenance customers who paid every year whether anyone called them or not. He had not written an estimate since 2019. The buyer asked him, what happened if you disappear for 6 months? He said, nothing happens. He sold for $2.3 million. Remember, the second guy has half the revenue, but sold for almost 4 times the money. So stop asking how big your company is. Start asking this instead. And this is the key. I called it the absence test. And this is one question. What does this business earn in a year with me gone? Not what it bills, not what is gross, what is left over after somebody is paid market rate to do every single thing you currently do for free. That's it. That is the number. And it is the only number that shows up in your bank account the day you sell. Run it tonight. It takes 20 minutes and a pen. Write down every job you do that nobody else can. Put a salary next to each one. Subtract all of it from your profit. You're not going to like what is left, and nobody does the first time they run it. But here's the difference between the 2 guys in this video. One of them ran that test when he was 61 and there was nothing left to do about it. The other one ran it at 48 and then spent 6 years fixing it. 6 years bought him $1.7 million. That is about $280,000 a year for doing the exact same work he was already doing. You have more time than you think and less than you want. And look at where the first guy actually lost it. It was not his pricing, was not his overhead. It was one question: who sells a job? And that was me. That single answer cuts his life worth in half. So that is the next video, how to get yourself out of the middle of your own company, starting with the part that costs you the most. If you watch one of these, watch that one. This is general education, not tax, legal, or valuation advice, and the rules vary by state. Talk to your CPA and attorney before you make a decision this size. I'll see you in the next one.